What is going on, everybody? And thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Man Up Real Talk podcast. I am your host, Mr. Mike Wiley, saying greetings and salutations to all of you, our faithful followers and listeners. Look, y'all already know we appreciate every like, every share, every click, download, and whatever it is that you do to support this podcast, because we know that had it not been for you, wouldn't be no us. And we don't take that thing for granted. Now, for those of y'all that's joining us for the first time, we want to say thank you and welcome. And for those that's coming back for a second, third, fourth, fifth, double dip, whatever you want to call it, we say welcome back, because your boys and your girl is back on the air with the Man Up Real Talk podcast. I don't know why Phyllis' mic is on mute, but I'm calling her out because her mic is muted. And I don't know why. But as you can see, joining me as always is my right-hand man, Mr. Philip Hines, a.k.a. Mr. Classic, a.k.a. OG Triple OG, is in the building on today. OG Triple OG?
Stop that.
You know, you got to say his name until you get a cramp in your hand. OG Triple OG?
No, you ain't got to do all that. you choose to do that. That's my choice.
What's going on, man?
How you all doing this evening?
Doing fantastic, sir. And as you can see, also joining me is Miss Phyllis, a.k.a. Miss Unbothered, a.k.a. the last of a dying breed. And she's still on mute. What's going on?
I'm trying to find a clean sheet of paper in my notebook so I can take notes for tonight. I didn't want y'all to hear me turning the pages like I was Jill Scott writing a new song or something.
What?
You know how on Jill Scott's song, she was like, "You gonna hear me turn the pages." And me take my
It's starting already, man. I love it.
You know, it's Jill Scott and Paul Wall. It's a little ghetto love song.
I know what song you talking about.
Okay, thanks, Phil. See, we here.
Right,
we got the names together. We here together.
What's going on, chat? I see Jackie in the building. What's going on? Missy Faye, appreciate you, my darling. I see you. Lord Jesus, one of my old childhood friends is on. Mr. Antoine Patterson. Cheeseburger. What's in the building?
How
you know Cheeseburger. That's my man, Cheeseburger. Stop playing.
Cheeseburger.
You remember Burger. Why you acting like you don't remember Antoine? Man, look, appreciate you popping in, fam. We appreciate you. Listen, just in case you all didn't know, this is the last show of the year.
Yeah.
And we are glad. God has been awesome this year. He has brought us through 2023. And he has let us live to see yet another end of the year show. And man, I'm just glad. I appreciate him. I love him. I thank him because he didn't have to do it. A lot of people that went on ahead to be in glory, man, but we still here.
Yes, sir.
Struggling, dealing with the Negroes.
Mike, shut up, man. Just be great.
Some went to glory, some went to the gutter. I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
Everybody ain't going to heaven.
Everybody ain't going.
Everybody ain't going.
Yeah, everybody ain't going, man.
I be feeling sorry.
Down, some people looking up.
Some people, I just know Uncle Larry is looking down on us. No, he ain't.
No, he ain't. He
looking straight up, saying, "What shoes you got on?"
With his mouth open, trying to catch a snowflake that ain't gonna make it.
What up, Fred? Hey, man, I appreciate you for popping in, man.
Fred, what's going on, brother?
Listen, real quick, I need y'all to do something for me. Now, I know y'all know I don't normally ask y'all to do nothing, not a thing. But what I need y'all to do, I need y'all to like this video. I need y'all to share this video, and I need y'all to tag somebody. Now, for those y'all that's a little oldish and don't know how technology works, when you tag somebody, all you doing is putting their names in the comment, and then that tags them, and that lets them know that, oh, they watching this. Oh, they did this. That's all you doing. Now, look, and it's only gonna cost you free 99.
Yep.
It don't cost you nothing.
Cost you Nathan.
Like, tag, and share this video. Listen, I don't want to prolong this any longer because I am particularly glad about tonight, and we have a wonderful guest that's about to join us. And look, and I ain't gonna, and it's a major flex for me to say we related. We cousins.
Family.
We
Family.
Yes, we are. She's on the other side of the lake. Mm-hmm. That's right. She's from the great state of Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. She's the host of the All That Jazz radio show that now you can catch every Tuesday and Thursday from 5 to 8. And it plays jazz music with all of its components, contemporary, fusion, R&B, cosmic jazz. I mean, all type of stuff. She play it. You talk about the last of a breed. Listen, she's like, she been in the DJing game for 20 years. And for a woman, you don't really see a lot of women DJs. And she's been in the game for 20 years. She's holding it down on the radio. Look, I'm proud of the girl. And I know, look, I want to present to some and introduce to others Miss Sandra Silk. Sandra, is you there?
I think I'm here. It feels good being with you all. I tell you this on this Friday. Happy Kwanzaa.
Yes.
Same to you.
How y'all doing?
Man,
Good.
I
How
can't
are you?
complain.
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. Just hanging out with you all.
Yes.
This is great to be here today.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a quick question. What's the first day of Kwanzaa? What are we celebrating on the first day?
If I'm not mistaken, it is Emoja.
Emoja. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Emoja, Kuchikajalia. I know what I do know is that yesterday it was Jalia or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
but it's 7 days. It's 7 days of Kwanzaa.
Okay.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And now are we in the second day or what day is this?
This is the third day.
This
Is the fifth day. Yesterday was the
day?
fourth.
Oh, okay.
And it goes until January 1st.
Okay.
Yes.
I gotta step my Kwanzaa game up, man.
My daughter, my daughter put Ujima, which is collective work and responsibility.
Right.
To build and maintain our community together and make our community problems our problems and solve them together. So she put a post up yesterday and tagged all of us in it. So, you know.
Yeah, really. And that's something that we as Black people should really start looking into and try to celebrate that and the 7 principles. Take some of that on through our lives. I think that's going to help us out to a lot togetherness and understanding what we need and not following the principles of the others.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree wholeheartedly.
Not following the principles of the others.
Yep. So Sandra, look, what we do with all of our guests is we give them the mic so they can kind of talk to the people and tell them what, just tell the people a little bit about you, who you are, where you come from, where you are right now, how you got there, that type of thing, just so the people can know a little bit more about you. So I'm going to give you the camera and give you the floor and let you do your thing.
All right, wonderful. Well, thank you so much. And I have been in the business for, I'm going to correct that, 38 years.
Oh, excuse me.
That's all right. 38 years. But I appreciate you not dating it, but 38 years. And I have to be proud of that because you are absolutely right. At the time that I started, there were very few women in the DJ business. I started as a freelance DJ, and freelance meaning that I'm on my own. Okay. I create my own contracts. I write my own ticket. And in terms of me and my love for music, I got to go back to the beginning because my family is from Memphis, which makes a lot of importance for me because we grew up in Memphis around music. My family was in music. My mother sang as a little girl in the church. She did so well that they would hire her and come out to sing at churches. So my grandfather would take her. And this was before Aretha Franklin and all of that. She went on to music school. My brother liked music. He would go with her to choir rehearsal. My mother always was in a group or in choir rehearsal ever since I've known, and but my brother then started to sing too. And I say my background from the music is because that's important, because that's how I started to love music, because I was around them. My brother sang, he had a little group at Melrose High School in Memphis, won the contest. Their name are the Astors. He won the contest, then became a background for Stax recording, right down the street from where we grew up. With that being said, I was around music all the time. I would sometimes go to the studio with him, and of course, listening to my mother and her singing. I never wanted to sing. Now, that's one thing I never thought about ever. Never thought about it. But my love for music, I knew at a young age that I wanted to have some part of it. Didn't quite know what. But when my brother got home from Vietnam, he had a record store, and I would go there in the summer and I would work with him, because by that time my father and mother had moved here to Milwaukee. But I would go and visit my family in Memphis and work at his record store, and I would help him put up the music in the record store. And while doing that, in my downtime, sometimes I would read all the labels front to back, the artist, the writer, the producer, how long it took to record that album, that CD, or well, it wasn't a CD, but a 45. And that became my way of learning more about understanding and thinking that I want to be leaning toward a writer.
Hmm.
And yes, and I started at that point kind of paying attention to the production part of it. And from there, I even started to pick up my pen and paper and started to write lyrics. Well, coming along, as a teenager, I knew right away I never wanted to be a teacher. I didn't want to be a secretary, none of that. I wanted to be in the music industry. But there were, and I did not know of, any Black young women my age that were lyricists. But I did know that Bobby Humphrey had went to Howard University. She's a flutist. And I said to myself, I want to get there. But the funds were not available for me. And at that time, people didn't understand the fact that you can make it there, So I just went on and started doing something else with my life and making a way for myself. But that love for my music never did go away. And I always had a collection of music, always. And I started DJing parties. They'd say, can we use your music? I said, no, you can't use it, but I can come over and I can play your party for you. And about mid-70, well, actually the latter part of 70, I decided, my brother told me when he got home, and out in California, he had seen something that was called a disco. And I'm like, disco, what is that? And he told me that there was a DJ and you could go and you could play, and they were playing at these clubs. So I grabbed my Marantz stereo, which I still have today, that same one. And we took it and went to a club, had my one little blue light and started spinning. Had that and started spinning records. Well, that went for a little bit, but on into the 80s, I was still collecting music, still doing just maybe a friend's party or something like that. But by 87, a friend of mine had a bar and said that they needed something to do on Sundays. And I said, okay, why don't they hire me? I said, I can come out on Sunday and we could do jazz. And I want to backtrack just a little bit. When my brother got home from Vietnam, he and I would sit and we talk all night long, and he taught me how to play chess. But we would listen to jazz all night long, all night. And we talk about it, and he'd tell me about his history because, again, him being an artist to Stack's record, he knew all of the details, everything about. He would sit and tell me about their being on the road with James Brown and the Temptations. A lot of times he'd bring the artist in our home there on Orange Mound in Memphis. But we talk about his life. And I used to go and watch their shows too as a kid. OJ's, again, James Brown, Billy Stewart, and the list goes on. But for me, as we fast forward, again, I had all of that music knowledge and loved it. So I was still spinning records at that little spot there. And I started on a Sunday spinning jazz. And then I went to another club that needed somebody. They hired me. There was nobody in there. And next thing I knew, we had a full house. Then people were coming up to me, the Black nurses of Wisconsin. Can I do their function? The Greeks, the Alphas, the Kappas, the Deltas. I did all of that as an independent freelance DJ. And one of the TV personalities was at one of my gigs. And I remember that day it was about 100 degrees outside and I'm sweating bullets. And I'm saying, whatever, please don't let him come over here and talk to me. And I looked up and there he was. But he says to me, gave me a compliment that I was doing such a great job that I should be in radio. And I'm like, oh my God, really? But they introduced me to the program director at 1290 WMCS radio. And I went over and had an interview with them. I'd never done commercial radio broadcasting. Other than, by the way, I had did some small little stuff with this station called, it's WYMS.
Mm-hmm.
Did an intern with them because I was playing clubs and I got out at 3:30 in the morning and I had to do that. The lighter side of jazz and blues, I called that show. I was able to name it and did that from 5 o'clock until 8:30 in the morning. And then back up again, doing what I was doing, which I was a cosmetologist by then. But at WMCS, they hired me for the first blues to play blues. There had never been a woman to play blues. One of the public relations persons there, a lady by the name of Ella Smith, said, instead of you hiring all these men, why don't you get a woman to do it? And the program director says, Billy says, well, if you know somebody, a woman that can play blues, you bring it to me. And we made that connection. And I went over, did the interview, and started playing the Saturday Blues Show, which was really, I was excited to do that because I replaced a radio person that I had been listening to on the radio since I was about 8 or 9 here in Milwaukee. After doing the blues, I was immediately promoted to midday. So I did midday from about 10 until 3. And then I started doing more things. But I was on that station for, I'm going to fast forward because I was on that station for like 24 years. I stayed there, which was a great thing. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot. During my time there, I've had an opportunity to interview Shaka Khan, Keith Sweat, B.B. King, Boys to Men, Peebo Bryson, BB and CC.
Y'all ain't noticed the name dropping. I'm just saying she's dropping some names.
But I say that because that is a part of my history. But that's where I started, right in there. But I've gone on to do other big things, I would say, like playing President Bill Clinton's fundraiser for the Democratic Party.
Oh, wow.
The Harley Davidson 100th. And I do these things as an independent, praise God. I'm not at that time or now am I coming through a radio station to do these things. I'm an independent person. And I've also just recently, and I'll bring you up to date, this year, I started out with Juneteenth Day here. And I was hired and sponsored by Northcott Neighborhood House. And for their senior zone, beautiful, beautiful event. I mean, we're talking, of course, a Juneteenth Day out in the street is beautiful. And this year, I also played the Fellowship Open, which is a golf tournament of 700 people. Had to be there at 4:45 in the morning.
God bless you.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because we couldn't see nothing. I tell you that. Now that was something right there. That was some kind of experience because 4:45 in the morning, and then for me to be there and set up. And at that time for that event, they wanted me to play all Motown. So my genre of music is wide. It's it's a far range and reach. And then to wrap up the summer, I played the Moms Tour, which is it's an event for women of color who have problems during their pregnancy. Now, this is Vice President Kamala Harris's initiative. Beautiful event. It travels city to city. And for that, I was able to play that. And then now here we are. And most recently, I was hired and asked to come over to WNOV, where I am now the host of All That Jazz every Thursday from 5 until 8. But when I left the radio yesterday, before I left, the manager called me and says, listen, everything sounds good. How would you like to do Tuesday? And I'm like, wow, Tuesday. Okay, all right, sure. Well, let's roll with it. So that's where I am. But I give, and I got to tell you and everybody else, I give all praises to God because this is a gift that he gave me and I follow it. I've not been out to trying to be drunk, high, chasing guys or anything like that. And I concentrate and really am serious about my work. And I tell any young person out there that don't let people spoil your dream because they will deter you from where you're supposed to be. Like I said, when I didn't go to Howard and my family, when people were saying you can't do that, it's like I roamed around for almost 15 years trying to find myself. Going to cosmetology school, which I did great in that too. Thank God I excelled in that. But I still ended up where I wanted to be. And that's where we are today. And thank you for hearing my story. And I, like I said, and I tell young people or anybody, follow that dream. That niche that's in you, that thing that's bothering you, and you keep saying, I'm going to do that. Mike, you and I talked about that.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go and I want to be and I really want to do that. I want to be a cook. I want to be a seamstress. I really used to want to sing. Do it. Just do it and perfect it. Take your, put your heart into it and ask the Lord to show you what you will need to make that happen. And I swear your door will open up for you and you won't have to ask for it. It's going to be there. And everything that you will need will be right on your path for you to be successful. It's all, he's going to lay it out for you. And that's my story.
Listen, first of all, I want to say thank you.
Yes.
Because, just as you indicated, we've talked before and talked about having that itch. And I remember talking to Phil when I first had the notion to want to do this podcast. He said, and he was like, Mike, you need to do it. You need to do it. Mike, you plan, you need to go ahead and do it. I said, I'm gonna go ahead and do it.
Mike, I ain't say it like that, brother.
Yes, you did. You said it exactly like that. Mike, you need to stop playing and go ahead and do it. I'm like, all right, man.
Don't say it like that, man.
Hey, hold on, guys. Y'all keep talking. I got to find my charger.
Okay.
Mike, I want to get back to, but Mike, I want to ask her one thing. When you get done, I want to get back to the DJing aspect of her life because it's that kind of intrigued me. So I want to ask her about something.
Why? Because you call yourself spinning music.
No, I want to ask her about.
You call yourself being. You being.
I want to know. I want to ask her about the scene that was going on here when she was in those discos. Because this is the birthplace of house. I just want to know that. I just want to see if she ever tapped into that while she was DJing. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just say what's up to the people in chat. I see a lot of Kim folks in here. Who in here? Jennifer is in here. If she's still watching, she might have just popped in and popped out. Eddie and Tina, I appreciate y'all as always.
Brother Eddie, Tina, how you all doing?
My mother-in-law, God bless Grace.
Mama here
still on this evening.
Mama here for real?
God. Look, it got to be something special for her to be in here because she don't normally watch, but we thank God for her on tonight.
Mama said something. She said something.
She just said music runs in our family. Proud of you, cousin.
Hey,
you know how she said music runs in our family.
Mike, don't do that. Don't do that, Mike. Don't do that.
I love my mother-in-law. I give her a hard time, but she knows if she need me for anything.
Say it again, Mike. Wait, say it again.
No, music runs in our family.
Mom, I'm not laughing. That's Mike.
Right? He's not laughing.
That's Mike.
But what she said though, she did say, but what she said though, she might have disconnected because whatever she needed was charging and didn't charge. So hopefully she'll come back. But I like what she said though about following that itch or whatever, because a lot of times, how many people roam and they be like, I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And it's normally something that's in you that just won't leave you alone. You know what I'm saying? And like just myself, when I was coming up, we came up in a time when, radio personalities was a big thing. You know what I'm saying? We came up in a time where the Doug Banks and the Tom Joyners and the crazy Howard McGee's and all those cats on WGCI. Even when KKC was popping off on Fridays.
Right up the street from you.
Right up the street from me, man. Pink House and
Friday Night Audio.
Friday Night Audio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That stuff, man, I always grew up and I looked up to them dudes. I was just like, that's what I wanted to do. But unfortunately, when you leave a kid to his own devices, he don't necessarily do what he should do. And I literally lived right down the street from Kennedy King College.
That's when it was on Vincennes, the white building.
Right there on 69th and Wentworth.
I was working the Barkin Center up in there.
And I never pursued it. And it was something that just always just nagged at me, man. I don't care what I did, what job I worked. That thing just always just nagged at me. There she is.
Okay, sorry about that.
Oh no, we got you back.
Hey, listen, with all of that talking and everything and playing and spinning, I forgot to plug up my My computer was in my bag. And hey, did y'all check me out early when I said I could have?
She was like, yeah, 38 years, sir.
Yes,
and then she don't have her computer plugged
20,
up.
And I could have set up a backdrop and I could have did this. Hell, just plug it up with you.
Mike, she was like, that's 38 years, sir.
That's 38
right,
years, sir. While you dating me, I'm just saying.
Right. I better learn how to plug up my computer.
But no, Sandra, we were just talking. We were talking. I was referring to the conversation that we had about how I know what that's like to have something that's always in the back of your head, like this is what you want to do.
Yes.
And I started doing this as a result of me always just wanting to do the radio. Now, is it going to lead to anything? I don't know. But I don't know. And some people be like, man, it's too late in the game. Is it really?
No,
I don't think so.
No,
I think
it's called podcasting.
I think as long as you're breathing, you have an opportunity to do whatever it is that you were meant to do.
Absolutely.
And so that's part of the reason why I continue to do this. I look, me and Phil always say, Mike, it's gonna pop off soon. I'm like, it's gonna get to the right ears sooner or later, Phil. You mark my words, sir. The right ears will hear it.
That's true.
I gotta tell you that.
Yeah, man. Whatever. I'm trying to reverse roles. The point is, though, I understood what you were saying in regards to that. I do have a question, and look, and whoever, man, if anybody else got some questions, please feel free to post them in the chat. First of all, I'm trying to figure out where all of these folks is coming from. This Juan Mill, man, look, this is my guy right here.
Okay.
This man, I've been knowing him for over 20-something years. He was in my wedding. I ain't heard from him in like 15 years, but he's still my guy. I'm just saying. He's still my dude. I appreciate him tuning in. And I'm giving him a hard time. Finest, what's going on, man?
Finest, what's good, bro?
Coming in. Yeah, man. But that's absolutely true, man. Look, if that thing is bugging you, no matter what it is, it's there for a reason.
Yes, it is.
And it's not just because it's not and a lot of times we look at it as regret. But sometimes it's not always regret. Sometimes it's just that thing they keep telling you, no, dude, this is what you need to be doing.
That's right.
You need to find yourself doing it.
Find yourself doing it, because otherwise we can clock in to a bank or go and work for someone, wherever it is, wherever that leads you in that journey, that detour. We'll go do that. And then we're like, you know what? I've spent 15 years, and that's okay, because you got to feed your family. You know what I mean? You got to take care of your rent. Yeah. But you can still work on your dream. You can work on your goal. And the more that you work on it, the more that you work on that thing, the better it's going to become. More and more. Like I said, I started out with a Marantz, a home Marantz system, and took it into a club with 2 speakers and 1 little bitty light. Wow. And it just grew to now I've got thousands of watts of for my own personal setup.
Same thing. How did we start?
But I can't plug in my computer, right?
Can't plug in that laptop, though. I'm just saying. But you know what, though, Sandra? We started the same way. Phil, when our first recording, how did we do it? I had my phone and I had 1 lapel mic, and I sat it on the table. I said, look, all of us got to lean in and talk into the mic, because it ain't gonna pick up everybody.
1 lapel.
That
is so, yes.
But I look at, but we look at the stuff that we did, 5 years ago, and look at where we are now. Even when we started doing live video, if you go back and look at the live video when we started doing it about 2 years ago, it is dramatically different than how we're doing it now.
Yes. And I'm so proud of you.
I was in the bed. Right. Tell them. I was in the bed.
Hey, and let me tell you, Phyllis, Mike and I had this talk, earlier this year. And we were talking about me being a DJ and out there kind of solo. Now, there are many others now, And I said, but the thing of it is, guys would walk up to me and say, I'm behind all this equipment. Who's the DJ? And I'm like, who do you think? and we start talking about women and our positions and roles and how we do things. And I said, and he said, yeah, Sandra, you're right. You remember that conversation, Mike?
Yes, ma'am.
And next thing I know, he had you on. And I am so proud of you, Mike and Phil, that you got in a woman. And like Mike says, to give that other side, the other view.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Hats off to you.
Yeah.
Look, she had to be special though, because first of all, I had to get somebody that wasn't afraid to come at me.
Right.
And so because everybody be like, no, Mike, you have such strong opinions. And I'm like, but just voice your opinion, man. And listen, besides my wife, who is always in the chat talking about you wrong. No, that's not right.
Mike,
and I'm like, all right.
Mike,
I get it.
relax, Mike. Relax,
so besides my wife, but my wife she's not really on the camera thing. She avoids it when she can.
Yes.
I was like, but my sister, when Phil said, Mike, we need to get your sister on, I said, okay. Yeah, we need to get her on. Let me tell you something. Phil is really selfish. He didn't want nobody to come on the show. No, Mike, it's just me and you, son. It's just me and you all the way to the top.
It wasn't that. Mike, it wasn't that. Mike just needed a kick in his behind, because Mike sometimes, like early when we first started, he had a little self-doubt. So it was up to me to kick him in his butt and tell him to keep going, because I know this is you. You got the mind for this, but he would get down like, this person ain't. Don't worry about who's watching. Don't worry about who's supporting. Just keep pushing. That's why I kept, and that's all it was. It wasn't that. It's like, no, this is something you built. You don't need nobody to validate you. It was like you trying to get people to pour. No, you do it yourself.
Right, because people are not going to come in, and even today, they're not going to come in and pat you on the back and send you some stars. I'm looking now, and I'm like, when I added, I work with the steppers too, and I work with a lot of different groups and organizations, and I watch who sends me a post, congratulations and this, that, and the other. And everybody's not going to like you. You know who said that? Lionel Richie. Lionel Richie had did an interview, and that's what kind of eased my feelings a little bit. He said, everybody ain't going to like you.
My mama did told me that when I was like 13.
Yeah, everybody's not going to validate you and what you're doing. So we got to keep pushing. And I heard that when those that don't give you that validation, guess what? They're listening and they're watching.
You know what, Sandra? Here's the crazy part. And me and Phil have talked about this a couple of times. Like you will not believe how many people have approached me and said, hey, man, I was watching your show and you said so-and-so and such and such, this, that, and the other, man. I thought that was right. And I'm sitting up there looking at them like, wait, you watched the show?
Yes.
Because you never comment. I never see you like it. You never share it.
No.
But you watch it? And it's it's the weirdest thing to me. But I will also say this, and this is no shot at anybody. Whenever you start anything and you're looking for support from the people that you think is going to support you, they support you the absolute least.
That's
the
true.
Support that you really get is from folks that you never even met before.
That's really true.
And they will rock with you until whenever, more so than the people that you've known for years.
Because our audios was going crazy. We had, I don't know how many thousand audios that we had got. When
we were doing audio, when we first started, we were averaging maybe about 10 downloads per episode. And I think I was doing 5 of those myself.
Yep.
And so we were averaging about 10 downloads an episode. And then all of a sudden it went from 10 to about 35 or so. I was like, oh, cool, 35 downloads. Then it went from 35 to 100. Then it went from 100 to 150. And the next thing we know, we were averaging like about 200, 300 downloads per episode. And when we stopped doing audio, we had over 30,000 downloads from our audio stuff.
Gosh,
30,000 downloads for somebody with no name,
and these are folks that we didn't even know.
Didn't even know. See, wow.
No, I knew one. My brother, he passed away. He downloaded them because he listened where we was at work. But these were folks we didn't need. That's why I was telling him, somebody is listening. Stop worrying about. See, you worry about who you think should be listening. I don't think like that with this pod.
Right.
Whoever's gonna listen. That's why I care about. And I'm gonna be honest, Mike had to force me to do videos because I care about audio a little bit more than I care about the video. Because I know in them audio, somebody's listening to us.
I said, no, so, you're gonna have to get out the bed. And
I used to have to push him, like, Mike, don't worry about this, Mike. 30,000 download audios, that's somebody listening to you. Stop worrying about who listening to you and just do your thing. And ever since then, we've been doing good.
Yeah, and it looks good too. I've been following you, and when I told Mike, I'm like, I'm watching. Yeah, you know, when you did that educational piece, when you went into a school or somewhere and you were talking to the kids.
Oh, that's when my mentorship program,
the mentorship thing.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
I had fun. I love doing stuff like that.
That was awesome, and I'm saying, let me contact my cousin here because I was struggling with my podcast. You know, trying to get that launched, and you're doing a beautiful job.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So look, Phyllis, did you have any questions? Because you got that real inquisitive look on your face.
Probably waiting on us to be quiet.
No, that's probably what it is. She's like, y'all talking too much. Shut up, jeez.
I just listen. I'm listening.
I did have a question, though, Sandra. Sure. I saw Mama mention something about Herb Kent. Is it a story behind Herb Kent or something I should know?
Oh my God. Yes, absolutely. Because
wait a minute, come on.
I'm saying, I'm like, what? I need my drink, Gabriel.
Yes, get that drink, baby, because this is gonna be good. Now listen. Now, when again, my family migrated from Memphis. And some of them stopped off in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And Faye and I have always been cool. And so when I got old enough, I would go out. I would come over to Chicago and go out with her. And you talking about a beautiful experience. She is still my number one today for stepping and R&B. And I would come over there, and like I said, I've got this big, huge collection, right? Mm-hmm. And I would get music because that Chicago sound is phenomenal.
Yes, it is.
And they think that they really got it right now. Okay, this new stepping age group, they're missing the mark.
That's right.
They way off the mark. And Herb Kent was one of the people that I would listen to when I would be there. And then when automation came, technology, and I could pick him up, he was the best DJ for true Dusty's, what we call Dusty's music, and the true stepping scene. But Herb Kent was something else. And Faye knew them all. She introduced me to all them people. Lil Sam, Big Sam, this one, that one. And I would I loved it so much. I would come over there and go out with her, and she would take.
You mean to tell me that Mama was outside like that?
Ooh, honey, that's gonna be.
Come on, man. You see Mama step at the crib, man. Come on, man. Mama was outside.
No. She making it seem like she was outside, son.
But she could step, and she still can, because we were just over there in August. But honey, listen, my cousin Faye and Mitzi Faye, but that family, but Faye would take me. Greta Faye would take me over to Beverly.
Mama, we know who you are.
Yeah, Mom, we know.
Is that her talking? Is that
her? Faye is me. We know who she talking
we
about.
Know, Mama.
Greta Faye. Okay. But honey, let me tell you, she would take me over to Beverly Rare Records because I'm like, I gotta have them records. And we dig deep. I'd be over there, and then I started going over there by myself. I'd be in there for hours, and I tried to bring the stepping over here in the 80s, and they just didn't get it. And I'd tell Faye, I'd be like, they ain't getting it. They just don't get it. And I try to play the music, and they wasn't getting it. They're 40 years behind.
Wow.
40 years behind. And now they've got that stepping game all over the place, twirling and jumping and just doing everything. And the music has totally changed. But I pattern myself behind Herb Kent when I do those certain shows, because I've done classic hits and oldies too. I used to do that on radio as well. Mm-hmm. But Herb Kent was the bomb, and so was Faye. And I tell everybody too, well, y'all need to see my cousin Faye step, because y'all ain't doing it right.
That's what's up. Sandra, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
As a woman in that field, coming up when you did you have any challenges, or were there any challenges that you faced, or anything that you particularly had to overcome during your career? Was it easy for you, or what were some of the issues or some of the challenges that you faced when coming up as a DJ and as a radio host?
As a DJ, I had to overcome, and one thing Charlie Green told me, the guy that made the bus stop, Charlie Green. As a matter of fact, Faye introduced me to him. She might have forgotten back when he first made the bus stop, please. Okay. And I told him I was
up in the copper box, Mike, on Halsted.
Okay. And he says, I told him, I said, I'm a DJ and I'm on the air. He said, you a street jock too? But the adversity was, again, coming through and trying to let, first of all, the audience, the public, know that I was real. I'd be standing there behind all this equipment or on a stage, and they'd walk up to me, who's DJing? But I had to put my feelings behind me. Mm. And that was a big adversity for me, or not an adversity, but a hurdle. And then the men, I'm dealing with all men. Mm. And men have a tendency, I don't think, then they do mean harm though too. I'm not going to say that they don't.
Yeah, some of them do.
Yeah, some of them do. And
some of them do.
Yeah, they can be real nasty about it. Yep. But I had to get myself in position, hold my position, and just walk up and say, your time is over. It's 9:00. I'm stepping in. And you can get back. You can get all your, and I really had to be strong. And sometimes I'd have to just get down and gritty, get down and gritty and start using some of the language that they use. Because if that's what they understood, then I had to be, because they're not coming over here to my lane. I had to get into their lane. Because they were not changing. But over time, they have learned to respect me. They've learned to, it's time to get over. They've decided, and no, not decided, but my professionalism has spoken for itself. That's the bottom line. I'm right here with you. And as a matter of fact, I have passed you.
Talk your talk.
Yeah. Right.
And I passed you, and I don't have, and I got all kind of little gadgets, but you know what? I don't need all of that. I don't need all of that. I can play and spin records and do all of that without a bunch of controllers. I got everything. But
Yeah,
I
she's
just
talking that talk now.
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
but I really had to hold my own.
That's what's up.
And let
Okay.
them know that I'm not there, because men will think not, to anybody particular, but men will think that either I'm out there flirting, there to have a good time,
Right.
And I'm not.
And you were
This
there
is
to
business.
work.
I've had bar owners to really not want to pay me.
Wow.
Yeah, if I'm done working and they say, well, if we're done, you want to come to the bar and have a drink? No. Can you come get your money tomorrow or 2 or 3 days from now? No. Because my husband or my man is at home and I gotta have my money just like you do. So I really had to get strong.
That's crazy.
It is.
So let me ask you. Now this is a DJ question. Do you prefer old school turntables or the new stuff like with the CDs
Serato controllers?
Yeah. Which one do you prefer?
Controllers.
I do have Serato, but for me, I'm using virtual DJ.
Okay. All right.
For me, I'm on virtual DJ.
All right. Yeah, I use those all sometimes. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I'm going back to your DJing. You said something about the discos. You brought up Herb Kent. What a lot of people don't know is Herb Kent. There really would be no house music in Chicago without Herb Kent because he had this show called the Punk Out Hour.
Okay.
And in my team, well, the teens that was a couple years older than me, they was punking out. By the time it got to my generation, it went to preppy to house. So I'm just asking you, did you ever get off into playing house music? Or
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely.
Yes.
Because riding through, if you hanging out in Chicago, you got, and if you love music, there's no way that you can bypass it. No way that you can I play when I can sneak it in. I'm gonna play me some Louie, some Miggity Mike, or anybody, Terry Hunter, all of that stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
I get it in. Excellent music. I love house. I used to do some house sets on Wednesday nights.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. How do you curate your music, Sandra? Like what when you doing your sets, how do you go through deciding what you want to play? Is it a certain mood? Is it a certain feeling? Do you go by does it depend on the venue itself? Like, how do you curate what you're going to play for that set?
Well, depending, of course, it really, I have to think about again which audience, who's my audience.
That's right.
Because who's my audience? And back in the summer, I did a block party for Northcott Neighborhood House, which is a big organization here. And they wanted me to play. That was the same group and organization that had me for the Juneteenth Day. Then they hired me for their block party. And they said, oh, we want to hear, I forgot that, but stuff, iTunes music, they called it. Okay, iTunes music. And I'm like, what is that? But one thing I learned, and I'm gonna get to it, that's how I target my audience. And one thing I learned is that these sets are not for me.
That's right.
People hire me.
Yes.
And it's my job to get into their head and find out what it is that they want. And people will tell me, they'll sit and say, and I'll say, when I'm contracting them, and I said, anything you want to hear? No, not really. And I just keep working. I know it's something. And I pull it out of them. And then I have to look around and see. And when I'm live, I have to know the party and the people. And you have to really be thinking, I can't be on the floor dancing.
That's right.
I cannot be drinking and drunk. And the same thing goes for in preparation. So that's how I curate my music, because, and it's a work. It's a work in progress. When I'm not DJing, I'm still at work. I spend 8 hours almost a day prepping my music.
Wow.
Yes, because it's my job.
Right.
It's my job. And if I don't tend to it, who will? I can't get there and say, and I'm playing the same thing.
Right, right.
So I can go from, I had a 24-year-old hire me last summer, and I said, "Are you sure you want me?" And he says, "Absolutely." So I can go from playing, and I have done a classical wedding. I played classical. I played polka, bar mitzvah.
What?
Yeah, oh yeah, bar mitzvahs. Listen, if your money will pay,
That's right.
I will play.
That's right.
I will play. Okay, and it's up to me to do my homework. And like I said, that when I got started back there, and that one TV that TV person came up to me, that was an all African event. African. And I said, "I don't do African." And they said, "But we want you talking in African," whatever. And I said, okay. So I had to go do my homework. And the only thing I could pray, like I told you, it was 100 degrees that day, right?
Right.
But I'm praying, Lord have mercy, please don't let this song be cursing, because I don't know what they're talking about. So when he walked up to me, I thought that's what he was going to tell me, because I didn't know. I just did my homework and picked out some African stuff. Yeah, but that's how I do it.
I can't imagine DJing a polka song like, all right, we're about to get this thing started.
They loved it. They polka. Can you imagine that?
If that's their music, man, trust me, they on that dance floor
How
going
can you
crazy.
DJ polka? I don't.
It can be done.
Just let it ride.
Just let it ride. Let it ride and pray. Let it ride and
Any
pray.
music can be spun.
It can be done. Just
If that's the music for that situation, trust me, somebody's
That's
gonna
right.
like it.
Have you ever done the what's the parties for the girls?
mitzvahs?
No, not the bar
The
mitzvahs.
quinceañeras.
Quinceañeras. You ever done one of those?
No, I've never done one of those.
All right, we're gonna work on getting you a quinceañera. I want to see you spend one of those.
Okay, let me know. Just let me know so I can put it together.
I hear the gypsies can party, so invite me.
Yeah,
I'm just
Be
saying.
the +1.
So look,
I forgot.
we're winding down to the last half hour of the show. I didn't want to leave because this is the last show of the year for us before we take our winter break, and then we're gonna come back full force to kick off Black History Month. We normally take January off, and then we come back in February. But I wanted to talk, since we're all going into the new year, and I wanted to have an opportunity to talk about things that we want to leave in 2023. I don't know if you guys have any things in particular, but I there's a couple of things that I wanted to kind of talk about, and we just gonna hit on them briefly. You guys can comment on them if you have some things. As a matter of fact, let's do it this way. I'm gonna let you all, if you all have anything in particular that you want to say, I want to leave this in 2023. We'll do that, and then we'll go into the few things that I have, and then as time permits, we'll sum it up. Sandra, since you're the guest, I'm gonna let you go first. What do you want to leave in 2023? Hold on, stop it, Tim.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now listen,
Phyllis, help me out.
no, James, talking about we leaving Sexy Red in 2023.
Sexy Red, I'll go for that. That's right. Let's leave that behind.
Yeah,
Let's leave
you come back
Krishan
on that, man.
Hey, let's leave
She
Krishan
said Krishan and look,
and
let's leave
Blueface.
Blueface back there too.
Let's leave them back there too, and Lil Junior, all them. That's my wish.
Oh my goodness. She went in with that one. Man.
Oh my God.
She lined them all up because I was so thinking Krishan and Blueface myself.
Yes, buddy.
That
I
and
have
Sexy
had
Red,
about
definitely
Sexy
she on
Red.
the list.
I've had about enough of them.
Lord Jesus. Phyllis, what you want to leave in 2023?
No, I can't leave my kids.
Oh, Jesus.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
You can't leave them.
I can't. I wouldn't get too far anyway. I ain't got gas money.
Look, Jennifer said, "Leave baby here."
Please don't cover with cement.
There you go.
Can we please leave the baby here?
Where did that come from anyway?
I don't know because it's
from the
just
80s.
up and down to the bangs, to the
The 80s.
Like, I don't
I
know.
remember because I grew up in
It's
a house full of
ridiculous
women.
now, man. It's ridiculous now, man.
It sure is.
It's crazy. Oh, and since we there, can we leave the tarantula eyelashes in 2023,
Yep.
please?
Tarantula eyelashes
Listen,
for sure.
ladies, I get it if your lashes is a little thin. I understand. I understand that you may want something to kind of, bring them out a little bit. I get all of that. But if you blink and I feel it, it's too big.
Mike, relax, Mike.
They gotta wear them because they
Mike,
look like Kermit the Frog without them.
I'm just saying, if you blinking and your eyes is watering, your lashes is too big.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Every time somebody look at you, you doing this.
They
And then they look at you and be looking at you like, what you looking at? You know what I'm looking at.
I'm looking at you because you keep blowing my hat off. Shut your eyes.
Well, while we did that, how about the bonnets? Should we leave them too?
Oh Lord! But listen, if y'all don't stop wearing them bonnets and them house shoes to the store, stop that.
Okay.
No, leave them. No. Leave them fluffy house shoes that look like you got dogs on your feet.
Okay.
You know
Now,
them flip flops that
here's
got
the
the big
twist.
fluffies on it. Leave
Now,
those.
can we talk about the saggy pants then?
Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
I think that we have men and them skinny jeans, like Jen says, and the no socks. And I think personally they need a haircut too. I mean, just let's just have a complete overdo and leave it all behind. Because walking in the store, I don't know when you turn around if you're a male or female.
Oh no.
Man.
Oh Lord! Listen, fellas. If I can look at your pockets and I can count how much change you got in your pockets, your pants is just too tight.
Sure is.
Oh my God, man.
It's too tight.
Man.
Listen, anytime the circulation is getting cut off at your ankles, you need to loosen them pants up. Because your feet can't breathe. I'm just saying.
That's terrible.
Stop. You got them jeans, them ain't skinny jeans. That's just skin. I mean, you just need to just be naked if you go on that point.
It looks horrible.
It looks horrible.
It
looks absolutely terrible. What else you leaving? What you leaving behind, Phil?
2023.
Yes, sir.
That's it. I'm leaving 2023 now.
Okay.
You just one of the most non-participatory I've ever met in my life.
You know.
And it ain't like we didn't have this conversation. I said, Phil, think of something to leave in 2023.
No, I'm just
and you gonna pull the ninja route on today.
I wouldn't be me if I didn't do that.
Give me something, Phil. Something.
I don't know, man. Leave, self-doubt. Leave that. I want people to know that, just like what Cuz said, man, anything is possible if you put the work in. So leave self-doubt in 2023. And let's all be great in 2024. How that sound? That's better? Is that better, Mr. Wiley?
That was very profound, Phil. I appreciate.
You know what?
You know what else we're gonna leave in 2023?
Oh boy.
We're gonna leave cheap microphones in 2023.
So we on that.
That's what
we
gonna
doing
do.
that. That's what we
gonna.
doing.
So I guess you're going to be gifting everybody on this show.
Actually, that's my plan.
Starter set.
Phyllis,
so headphones, microphones.
No.
Oh, well, I got to join this team. Okay.
All of the stuff that you have.
Phyllis, we're gonna start this Man Up After Dark. And
my God.
You know,
no, we're not.
Yes, we are. No, not you, me and Phyllis.
Y'all ain't gonna start it either. See, you can't even get you.
Max Mister has spoken.
They're gonna self-doubt. She said, Mister. She called you Mister.
Mister. He
not cold. Mike, look, not cold enough.
Not cold, right? Oh Lord. Listen, okay. So I think some other things though, but real talk though, I do like the self-doubt thing, because one of the things that I did that was actually one of the things that I was going to say is like that negative self-talk, because Sandra hit on so much of it on tonight. And even in the discussions that me and Phil has had, you know, it's like when you think about it, sometimes like we are our biggest critics.
Exactly.
In everything that we do. We are the people who we look at what we do, we compare ourselves to other people, we look at where we are, and we look at where other people are, we look at what we have, and we look at what other people have, and we make ourselves seem like we are so much worse off than others. We can't do this as good as this person. We can't, whatever the case may be.
You have to be your biggest cheerleader.
You have to be your biggest cheerleader. I'm telling you right now, when I decided to stop referring to what we do as our little podcast, I was like, never again.
Right.
Never again. And it's just like the guest.
I got 30,000 downloads out of my belt, man. I ain't little.
Just like the guest who was supposed to be on 2 weeks ago, and she didn't come on.
Mike. See,
no. It's an example, Phil. It's an example. And she didn't come on because our following is too small for her.
My gosh!
Wow. Get you.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? No, I'm not having it. But we got to get out of talking about. We gotta get out of that negative self-talk.
Absolutely.
Because you'll never come. Be honest, because seriously, you'll never grow if you always have doubt in yourself. Even like if it's something that you really want to do, if you put the work in, once you get going, don't look at it as being small. Look at it, I'm doing this, and when it get great, it's going to get great, but I'm not going to pay attention to what the next person doing. Because they're not doing what I'm doing. I'm doing what I'm doing. So you just gotta keep focused on what you're doing, and you're gonna be great. So 2023, man, if you got any doubt in anything, leave it in 2023. Not bring it in 2024.
You're right, Kel. I'm not. You know what? I'm more pissed off than I am offended, because the more I think about it, the more I'm like, the audacity that you have to cancel because somebody following ain't big enough for you. But you're right. I will forgive. And I'm gonna move on.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
It is what it is. Her loss.
It is what it is. It's her loss. Now, getting out of that negative self-talk and making a decision to do some things. Another thing y'all need to leave in this year is being paralyzed by fear. We gotta learn. Listen, that fear. Some of us keep bringing fear with us every year because we keep saying we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. And then when it's time for us to do it, we don't do it because we're afraid of what might happen. We're afraid of the unknown. We're afraid of the what ifs.
Yep.
And I'm saying this as from personal experience. That what if is a killer.
It is. It kills all of your dreams.
It kills
you don't
everything.
Even get there. You don't even get there because you're stuck on if.
You're stuck on if.
Wonder if don't nobody like it. Wonder if nobody, comes or whatever it is. Just go for it. Just shoot just go for it. And believe me, I can tell you, starting off from that little Marantz or over there with my cousin Greta, I never would have known that this, what is that, fear to stop eating sugar? Yeah.
This is a personal struggle that me and Kelly.
Oh, okay. All right.
that fear stopped being sugar. Look, she talking about, so what if my food never tastes the same? What is wrong?
What if my food never tastes the same as that without the sugar?
That's without sugar. Yes, it's without anything, to be honest with you. Because I remember when I had to start cutting back on salt, I was like, oh my God, I'm finna start cooking food like white people. No offense, my white viewers, I'm just saying. But you guys have to be creative and find other ways to season your food without using salt. And I've done that, and I'm good. But yeah, the sugar thing, we still working on that. Now I will say that I am proud of how I have cut a lot of it out.
Good.
I every now and again, I have my relapses and I'm in the kitchen with a spoon of peanut butter, but I'm just saying it's better than what it was. And so I appreciate that.
But it's a step. See, it's a step though, because we have to really control ourselves and really work at it. It's not done every day. How can we step away from not putting sugar in our coffee? Right. Or that's a simple thing.
And just anything, because it's
anything. Sugar's in everything.
It's
ketchup.
Everything.
Yeah.
Sugar it's crazy when you think about it. Now, Tim said that he's a year off of sugar, but now, Tim, I know you used to be notorious for not drinking water. How are you doing?
Yeah, are you drinking water now, Tim?
Is you drinking water, boy?
He didn't drink water, period. I think Tim was into pops real heavy.
Oh man, Tim was like a crackhead when it came to Pepsi. That dude over there in the corner shaking.
No. They can be good.
Drink some water, man. Drink some water.
Mike, I gotta get me a Pepsi, man. I'm like, what is wrong with you, bro?
At least he hasn't gone to Mountain Dew yet.
Right.
At least he's not into the Mountain Dew yet. So, he's doing good. He's doing better.
Oh, he said no soda and a lot of water. Hey, man.
Yeah, that's good for you.
Yeah, yes, sir.
I'm
inspired. Everybody, man, drink water, man. Drink a lot of water.
Yeah, I saw the change in his wife, man, when she gave up all that sugar, dude. Tasha looked like a completely different person. I was just like, man, if she can do it, then I know I can do it. It's a lot of inspiration out there. You just got to know where to look.
I'm gonna get rid of it after I have that last piece of cake from that last piece of chocolate cake and that sweet potato pie, and I'm done. No more sugar.
Done.
See, Mama, I'm with you. It's.
I love a Pepsi, honey. Me too, Greta.
That must be a family thing because Jackie loves Pepsis also.
Let me tell you something. It is.
Pepsi is something else, honey.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about Pepsi. It is something about when your Pepsi has been in the refrigerator for about 4 or 5 hours.
Mike, what you go down, Mike?
It's so good, man.
What you go down,
it's so good.
It's an addiction, and don't wake up in the middle of the night and gotta go.
Oh my goodness, it's the craziest thing. It is the craziest thing. All right, so look, negative self-talk, we're leaving that 2023.
Yeah, that's out of here.
We're leaving that in 2023. You know what else we got to leave in 2023? We got to stop living in the past.
Yes.
Yep.
And what I mean by that is letting your past dictate your future.
Right.
A lot of us let our past tell us where we should be. Right.
Yep.
Like your past is telling you that you don't deserve. Your past is telling you that you shouldn't have. Your past is telling you that because you did this is why these things are the way. No, stop that.
Mm-hmm.
It's called a past for a reason. Let that stuff go. Learn how to forgive yourself.
That's true, because God has.
God and forget. Look, God forgave you. You need to learn. You need to learn how to forgive yourself for the mistakes that you've made. Listen, you've already suffered. You've already experienced the consequences.
That's true.
Why you keep putting yourself through the same thing? Let that stuff go.
Right.
Let it go and move on. A lot of y'all are stuck because you can't get over what you used to do or the things that you did. Yeah, I mean, none of us are perfect. We all have made dumb mistakes. We all did things that we regret doing. Right, but how long are you gonna let that thing dictate dictate the rest of your life?
Where you go. That's true. Leave it behind. And that's my thing that I tell everybody, just go forward. I try to teach a positive note, stay
Absolutely.
focused, stay forward, and stay prayerful.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
Thank you.
The last thing I want to leave in 2023 is I want to leave toxic relationships that's disguised as friendships.
Yeah.
Oh, man, yes.
I want to leave that in 2023. Let me tell you something. And this is friendship, relationship. If you in a friendship or a relationship that's draining all of your energy, that leaves you feeling worse about yourself, then you need to let that thing go.
Yes.
You gotta let it go. I remember years ago, I remember watching Les Brown. I don't know if y'all remember him.
Sure. Yeah.
But he had, and this was, I was young when I was watching him talk about this, and he was talking about how having certain people in your life is just like being injected with poison. It don't kill you instantly, but as time goes on, it starts to break you down until you die.
That's true.
And some people that's in your life, those toxic people, those toxic friends, or those relationships that's in your life that's draining you, that's pulling you, that's making you feel like, oh my God, like you can't go anywhere. You need to let those things go.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, they're killing you slowly.
That's true. That's true.
That's killing you slowly, man. And we need to be comfortable with letting go. Everybody ain't in your life forever. Some people are just there for a period.
Yep, for a season.
Some people are just there for a season, and we got to be able to learn how to determine who those people are
and identify them.
Because
the Lord, I'm gonna tell you something. The Lord will show them to you.
Yes, He will.
Because if you watch, that's the thing about staying prayerful. He will show you that enemy, that person that you're supposed to let go of. And they will come back in your life all bowled up, looking pretty, and they're only there to destroy. They're not there to compliment anything, but you will see who they are. And it's best once you see them and you know who it is. I'm going to tell you something. It's really easy to walk away from that. Once you see that, once you know. And that's what that prayer is about. And when you wake up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, that's when the Lord is trying to tell you things and will show you certain things about people. Things that we have in our lives, and it's true. Come morning, you've got a whole new revelation.
Yeah, that's true.
Once you get rid of all that garbage, then you clear the smoke and you can see what He has for you.
Yep. Tim being a troll.
Yeah, man. Tim, man.
Let's just leave Jake's past.
Tim,
are we talking about TD Jake? Stop that.
Don't do that.
Stop that.
Don't do that.
We ain't talking about TD Jakes tonight. We'll talk about him later.
Well, when y'all talk about that, call me back.
We're not talking about no power or no bottoms.
Exactly. Oh no.
Then we might as well talk about R. Kelly.
Let's just throw P. Diddy and Bill Cosby in the mix and get it over with. I mean, it is what it is. Can we leave division of black men? Absolutely. Listen, that's another thing I was sick of hearing this year.
Yeah.
It's like every conversation was, what do men bring to the table? Or what do you women bringing to the table? It's like this year was men against women all year.
Yes, it was.
Every time I looked up, that's what you saw. And it was just terrible. Listen, we need each other. Whether y'all choose to admit it or not, and whether we choose to admit it or not, we're better together.
Yes, that's true.
That's what the Lord made it that way. I mean, he didn't make Eve because he was like, let me just make Eve just because I'm bored. He knew that men and women would be better together. And if we have to learn how to get along, we gotta learn how to treat each other better. That's all.
Right. And not to expect so much. I mean, you can't get an offset off of somebody who's working in the department store or in a foundry. Put put your stuff in there too, and
Right.
make it work. I feel like this. You can't drain me as a woman. I can't drain my man, because then he can't be stronger. And it doesn't matter who has the most, but if we put that together, because if I like him, he's got a strength that I don't have. But we can put that together, and together we can be strong.
Absolutely.
But you know, women have to learn. I think women have to learn not to think that because they meet a man that he's supposed to shower her with all this stuff. Now, this is my opinion.
Well, look, that deserves a sip.
Let's all sip then. I'm drinking water. I don't know.
I'm just saying that deserves a sip right there. Phyllis, what did you just do?
What do you have in there, Phil? Phyllis, are you drinking anything with us?
No, this is the one show she didn't make a cocktail, and I'm disappointed.
She said she wanted to
Phyllis, you ain't
concentrate.
got. Wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute, Phyllis, you seriously ain't got nothing to drink?
I know, like I came specifically to learn. There's a season to teach, and there's a season to learn, and this is my season / show to learn. So I'm just listening.
Well, good. Did you learn anything?
Yeah, some things that I need to do. So I think I'm on the track. So I don't know.
Well, good. Hang in there.
I am.
Hang in there.
Yeah, so we listen, we need each other. And I love that you said that, you know, we got to set realistic expectations. And
Yes.
men and ladies, that's not saying that you have to settle.
No.
But you have to be realistic too.
But I think that's
You
a
know-
misconception. I think people feel when you tell them that they have to set realistic things, they take it as being you telling me I have to settle. No one's telling you you have to settle, but don't be delusional neither. You know what I'm saying? So
coming up on 54 years in marriage, it's a give and take, humor, and learn how to laugh. Yep. Man, that laughter, I tell you.
That's true.
Yeah. You got it's
That's true. It's
it's all
it helps.
It's all give and take, man. And it's just really just learning. You know what it is? It's learning how to listen to understand and not just listening to reply.
Right.
You know, and a lot of us, including myself, is guilty of that, where you just listening to come back. And a lot of times we have to be able to listen to really understand what it is, you know, our significant other is saying. So that if it's, you know, so we can do better if we need to do better. You know, it's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with recognizing that you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing,
right,
and changing for the better. It's when you don't want to acknowledge it and you don't want to change. That's the bad part, man. But yeah, I agree. That whole thing that this year has been nothing but yeah, I need a man to spend X amount of thousands of dollars on the first date, and this is and I want a woman to do this, and it's just like, I get it, but I mean, I was saying it to be funny, but not offensive. But I'm like, you want a man making 100,000, you want a man making 6 and 7 figures, and you work at the Waffle House. It's like, where you think you're gonna meet this guy at?
Where you gonna meet him at? You know, where's that gonna happen? That's not realistic.
It's not, it's not realistic.
Right, and men want every woman to look like Kim Kardashian.
Ain't gonna happen.
And that's not gonna happen.
That ain't gonna happen. Not only
happen.
is it fake, but it's not gonna happen. You know. So the best thing to do is get you a woman that can cook for you, and y'all can eat and have fun together. You know, enjoy it.
That's what I'm saying.
I will say this. This is one of the things that I've learned, is that what's realistic for me is not realistic for other people.
Right.
And what's basic can be complex for other individuals. Mm-hmm. So for people to say that, you know, you got to have realistic expectations. My expectations are realistic, but it may not be for that individual. Some people think that having clear communication is unrealistic because they are poor communicators. And so it's just kind of like, so if communication is unrealistic for you, what is realistic?
Right.
How do you communicate? Because communication is needed for everything in a relationship across the board.
Everything.
And so if you don't get established what is realistic and what isn't realistic in the very beginning of the relationship,
very beginning, man,
is the confusion. Everything is just going to be amplified. You're never going to be satisfied.
Yep.
And it's a waste of your time.
I wish you would. I wish Phyllis was there probably about 5 or 6 podcasts ago. I wish.
Here's the thing.
Hold on. I'm just saying, like, so
I'm talking about Phil.
I really didn't state what I was leaving behind in 2023. What I'm leaving behind in 2023 is, to a certain extent, being selfless.
Okay.
I have to learn how to be selfish with my heart.
Absolutely.
God tells us that we have to guard our hearts, and I wear my heart on my sleeve each and every time. And I just feel like this is a time in which I had somebody to tell me recently that I was like, I mentioned that something was hard, and it was like, you make it hard. I make it hard for myself because I'm always trying to find a way to make things easy for the people that I love.
Can't do it.
And I never get that and I never get it back.
No.
So there are going to be some things that I'm going to be selfish about in 2024. And there's going to be a part of my selflessness that I'm going to leave in 2023, if that makes sense.
That's good. As long as you're aware of it. As long as you're aware, because you have to protect you.
Yeah.
You can love, but you don't want to go head first and just say, I like this person. And, they, whatever it is, you have to be careful. And there's a bit of a little give. And then there's a little bit of a take.
Yeah.
My theory is this, that I do for you that door. Here's how I feel about it. That door swings both ways. When Benjamin Franklin invented the phone, he designed that just like this computer, so I can see you and you can see me. We are communicating. But if you shut down, that leaves me to think and do, because there's no facial expression. That's why I hate texting, because now you got no feeling.
Right.
You have no context.
No, nothing,
Right.
But if you give a little, it's okay. But just don't give the whole hog, and know how much to give.
Yeah.
And give without expecting anything back, because you may not.
Yeah.
You may not get that. So go for the ride without any expectations.
Oh no, I'm riding by myself in 2024.
Oh, okay.
I'm by myself. This gonna be a solo ride. I mean, no, the reason why is because it's just my expectations are realistic.
Okay.
Communicating is realistic.
Yeah,
being honest, being loyal, holding your end of the weight, that's realistic. And I just, it's just kind of like whatever. But my thing is like, I think sometimes, as far as like expectations are concerned, when it comes to certain people expect for you, not me, but there are certain people that expect for you to do a cannonball into the deep end of the pool, and they don't even ask you if you can swim. It's just automatic. Do this, boom. But if you say, can you do that for me? It can't be done.
Then I got,
that's not realistic.
Then those kind of people, you got to remove.
Right. It's unrealistic for you to set expectations that you yourself can't live up to.
Yeah. Then you can't do it.
And can I also add this? It's nothing wrong with saying no.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's a complete sentence.
You have to be able to say. People have to understand that it's okay for a person to say no. Like, if I'm and me and Phyllis have had this conversation, like you could take your kids for example, and then we're gonna end it because I know Phyllis got to go. And it's like anybody that has kids, you know how sometimes it's like you look at how over the years you gave and you sacrificed and you did that, and it's like anything they ask you to do, you jump and you bend over backwards to do it.
Sure.
And it's like you ask them to do something, and it's just
right.
And it's like, nigga, man, if you don't
sir, you gotta hit him with the sirs.
Right.
Sir.
If you don't straighten up and what is the problem? It's like that type of thing. But when you get it from outside, right? When you doing for others and you're constantly doing for others, you constantly do. And it's so much so that they just expect it out of you.
Right.
When you say no, they're offended by the fact that you say no.
Right.
And it's just like, did you just tell me no? Yes, I did. Because no, I'm not doing it. I'm tired. I don't have it in me to do it anymore. Right. And we have to be comfortable with saying no. Say no. Say understanding that it's okay to tell people like, no, I'm not doing it.
I used to be a yes person. And then I found out, not total yes, but I would do things, and then I found out that I would walk away hurt, mad, the one on the lower end.
Yes.
And they walk away, feeling good.
Right.
Yep.
I can't do it.
And I'm like, I had to start learning because of me and my personality. And some people may think differently, but I really had to learn how to speak up for myself and say no.
Yeah.
I've learned to say no. I cannot work for any less money.
Man.
I can't do it. I have got to, this is what I demand up front. Here it is. And then guess what I found out? I was shortening myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because now, you say what you want, whatever it is. Can you take me to dinner or can I take you to dinner?
Mm.
That goes, again, I feel like the thing goes both ways.
Yeah.
But to say no is okay because I'm not going to let you dog me out and you walk away happy tonight. No, you ain't going to be in a relationship and drive me crazy. I'll be damned if that's so, because we going to in the crazy house. Oh, no, you don't.
Look, you see Tim Field talking about somebody have a problem saying no. That's my downfall. Tim, let me get $50.
But you know what, Mike? Sometimes, and you have people that have good hearts that's out there that want to help people. But sometimes some folks takes advantage of that. If they know you're the type of person that never says no,
but
they're going to take advantage of that.
Phyllis is that type of person. She is selfless. My wife is selfless.
Jackie's like that.
And for years,
you making me mad because I know folks be trying to get over.
And Phil, for years she would just do and do and do, and I'm like, excuse me, and I tell her, and y'all excuse me for saying this. I said, these niggas don't care nothing about you. Why you keep doing this stuff? And I'm telling you, when she starts saying no, they start looking at her differently. It was like, oh, I didn't think she was like that. No, because you thought she was a carpet for you to walk on.
Yeah,
that's true.
Mike used to piss me off because Jackie's so nice and
I know.
And like when it turned out where it's like there's no gratitude to it, that's when I get mad because that's my wife.
Right.
Like, nigga, she done did all this and she can't get a simple thank you.
Can't get it. And you know what, though? I will say all of them sisters is like that. Well, except that Jennifer. She a little selfish. All the other ones, though. Wait.
Don't tell Jennifer she's a diva.
Jenny gonna get you, honey.
Jen is all of them are like that.
Yeah, they are, and they got that from Faith. Faith is
and they get that from their mom. They listen. Their mom is one of the most like anybody that come through. If you come through enough, eventually you become family. I don't know how many nieces and nephews I got. I'm just like, who is this? Okay, hey, God bless you. but she's like that, and they're like that. And I used to hate when Kelly would just do and do and do, and it was so, and she would be tired from it. But she would still do it, and I'm like, why are you letting them run you in the ground, man? And I used to be mad at her.
I shut it
and
down.
She'll be like, Mike, you don't understand. I'm like, yes, I do. Say no.
Sometimes you just have to say no, though.
Sometimes
and it hurts you.
No,
it hurts though. But sometimes you have to stop and say, now they're at home in the bed and I'm running around for them. You just have to say no. So that's what, you'll learn after a while. In 24, we only a few days away.
We're only a few days away. Look,
that only means you got a good heart, Phyllis. That's all. That only means you got a good heart, baby. That's all it means. You got a good heart.
It's all right. It's all right. Jason Momoa gonna come to Jeff City. And I'm gonna put his hair in a bun, and we're gonna have wine, and he's gonna do the haka dance for me.
Listen, Phyllis, look, Phyllis, just don't cut his hair while he sleeps.
I'm not right, okay. Do a Samson and Delilah.
Now he can lay his head on my lap. Tell me his secrets. Tell me about Lisa Bonet. How she get you? The sorcery she used to get you. No, but I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna go. I have always known. I'll sum it up like this. This 2024 is the year in which I need to start intentionally applying the lessons that I've learned, right? Sometimes we keep putting off because we're waiting for people to catch up for us. Yeah. Them 9 times out of 10 are the people that's not going to go with us.
And the folks you got
one of the best lessons that I've learned is that I need to learn how to say no, and I need to stop when I've had enough.
Yes.
You need to stop when helping somebody starts to hurt you.
That's right.
And you definitely need to know, you need to leave when you know you've been in a place that's too long.
That's true.
So for 2024, I really don't have any resolutions, but for the last 3 years, I have always said a prayer that's just real simple. I ask God to not allow me to try to become anybody that he didn't create me to be, and not to allow me to go in a direction in which he doesn't want me to go.
Amen.
And I just feel like that covers it all. And so I hope that the Lord covers you all. Cover me. I go get my son.
Yeah. God bless you, honey.
Back, and I'm gonna bust that wine open that's waiting for me in the refrigerator.
All right, that is for you. Okay, God bless you.
Get on up out of that. Be safe. Okay, we'll talk
later.
All
right. I love y'all. Nice to meet you
later, baby.
Oh, Phyllis, thank you too, honey. Okay, we'll get together sometime soon and talk next year.
All right. So listen, on that note, I think we can go ahead and wrap this up. Sandra, listen, I just want to first say I appreciate you. Well, Phyllis, you can go if you can hear me. You good? Because she's still looking in the camera. All right, babe.
She's still looking at the
camera. Yeah, she was like, can I go? I'm like, yeah, go ahead and go. But I want to first thank you and say that I appreciate you for taking the time out and coming on and just sharing with our audience about you and your experiences and just hanging out with us, man. We love having guests on.
Thank you.
And on behalf of Phil and myself, just know that you always have a seat at the Man Up table whenever you want to come on. Man, listen, you already got the
family got you, baby. Family got you.
All right, I love it. Thank you, Phil. Thank you.
Yeah,
Mike.
Absolutely.
Beautiful,
and
Phyllis.
For everybody else, anything that you want to say before we signed off?
I do. I want everybody to remember to listen to my jazz show again.
Absolutely,
it has been extended to praise God. They asked me to do another show. I'm so happy. So it is on Tuesday, starting January 2nd from 5 until 8 on WNOV. And it is a Black-owned and operated station for 47 years. They're holding their own. And I'm so proud to be a part of that. Now, there's the FM side, of course, and I want you all to tune in there. As a matter of fact, we used to be the sister station to WVON.
That sounds like this is like the same caller.
Yes.
WNOV, yeah.
Only switched around. It's I couldn't tell you what they stand for exactly right off, but WNOV, and it's 106.5 FM, The Voice. And that's where you'll find me on Tuesdays starting January 2nd with all that jazz. And I'm playing jazz and educating our community that jazz is not that sunglasses in a
fedora.
And that you're listening to stuff, because that's what people sometimes think about jazz. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to that I can't think of what I thought about, but I want to educate our people that jazz has many layers. It's jazz fusion, contemporary. It is R&B. It's soul, acid, cosmic jazz. And speaking of cosmic jazz, that's where you get into, and I just want to share this with you. That's where you get into artists like Lonnie Liston Smith, if you're not familiar with him, Herbie Hancock, George Duke. But now Andre 3000 from Outkast has joined the Cosmic group. And Cosmic meaning using a lot of chords and synthesizers. And Andre has just left the planet. And if you get a chance over the holiday or anytime, just take a listen and let me know what you think. But jazz has so many layers. And I want to, and that's what I'm playing. I'm playing all of the new stuff too, which is the Boney James, Dave Sanborn, and a lot of women have come on board.
Really?
Candy Doffer. Have you ever heard of Candy Doffer?
You know what? Jazz isn't. That's a genre that I'm not really familiar with. I know like a lot of the olds, like some of
I like
some
George
of the older
Duke,
artists.
Roy Ayers.
Yeah, I know those guys.
Get some folks in here now. You have got to listen. Candy Doffer was Prince's saxophone player.
Oh, okay.
So these women and different artists, but I'm going to stay there, have just bloomed. Megan, I forgot her last name right now, but she is so many. Cindy, but it's just so many. I can't think of them right off the top of my head. But female artists who play instruments, guitars, flutes, violins, but they have married this thing so funky with R&B, you would not believe it.
I'm about to check them out.
Check it out. You would. That's why they added that second show. See, they thought they were gonna hear Jimmy Smith and all those old timers, which there's nothing wrong, because I got a few classics in there,
right?
To keep those old timers. But I want the new people, because I'll tell you a secret: jazz and R&B got together, had a baby, and guess what it is? It's stepping music.
You know what? The bop. Yeah, okay, I can see that. I can see that.
Can you see that?
I can kind of see how the two blend. Yeah.
That so it's so funky. It is so funky, but they don't even realize that they've been jazzmatized, because up under that layer now of that, all of those synthesizers, horns, and that they've added in that R&B. So please tune in. You'll enjoy it.
Could you say it again?
I'm gonna post it, and I'm gonna share her stuff to our page.
Yeah.
Because I'm and let them know where they can find you on Facebook, because you have a Facebook page as well.
Yeah, I sure do. The Party Train 21. I list a lot. It is designed so that you can follow me at the different clubs, and I do a club every other month where we're packing the house, and that I'm doing. It's all adult, of course, and but that's a great event, and of course I have my individual.
I just thought, you know, no, we're planning on doing a live event in March, and I was like, man, I want to have a DJ. We're gonna have to talk.
Well, let's do that. Sure.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk.
I would love to. But you guys in the audience, listen in. It is really a different type of show, and you're gonna enjoy knowing and learning more about where jazz has gone from Jimmy Smith, example, Gene Ammons. But here's what's interesting: Lonnie Liston Smith, Herbie Hancock. I've blended it all together to make it sound great and make you feel good.
Absolutely, Jennifer. We may have to have her to DJ for the family reunion next year.
I would love to, because I play every genre, and as you heard, I do polka, jazz, bar mitzvah.
Look, so, I'm gonna request some polka while we there.
Baby, let me tell you.
What's a polka? What's a polka art? Tony, what's a polka? I'm thinking of a polka
now,
art.
I'm gonna let you, hey Phil, I'm gonna let you have that one. And on that note, you think about it and let me know.
Right, because I don't know.
No.
I'm trying to remember. It was this white guy that did polka song. Tony Aker, whatever his name was.
I don't know.
Not Lawrence Well.
No.
Is it Lawrence Well?
It might be Lawrence Well.
It might be Lawrence Well.
Yeah, it might be. We'll have to look it up. We'll look it up.
Hey, listen, I'm mixing this thing up so tough until again.
Talk your talk.
But it's a blessing because they added another show. And
that's when you know you're doing something.
Yeah.
When I was asked to come on to the station and do all that jazz, and then now they said, "Can you do it again on Tuesdays?" So you know where you got the information. I'll send the link, but join my Party Train 21 at gmail.com or Sandra Silk at wi.rr.com.
All right, listen, we just thank
you so much.
Appreciate
Thank you. Thank y'all for having me.
So much.
Thank you for coming out. We had a good time. Listen, guys, this is the last show of the year, and we are going to take our winter break coming up in January, but we will be back next year if the Lord say the same, kicking off Black History Month. Listen, we appreciate everybody that came on and joined the live stream.
Thank y'all.
We appreciate y'all, all the support you all have given us on this year. And we just thank y'all. I mean, I can't thank you enough. I try to thank you every show, but listen, I appreciate each and every last one of you guys, and whatever way you chose to support this podcast, every like, every click, every share, every download. Y'all already know the spiel, man. I appreciate y'all, and I love each and every one of y'all. Listen, I pray that the Lord bless each and every one of you guys for the upcoming new year. Yes, I pray that He continues to cover you, continues to protect you, and continue to lead you and guide you in the way that He wants you to go, and all that He has for you. I'm believing that He is going to do it for you on next year. So on that note, on behalf of Philippines and myself and everybody else, so the Man Up crew, we thank you all. We love you all. You all have a happy new year. And until we talk again, my friends, y'all get 2 fingers to the side. Make sure you holler at your boys. Because we out.
Peace.
Happy New Year, guys.
Yeah.